welcome. Our guest today is Jim Cunningham. How are you doing, Jim?
I'm terrific. Thanks for having me. What a blast. How cool is this?
Now,
It's a nice little setup down there.
It really is.
I'm super stoked to have you on the show, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. But you were going to come on the show about a month and a half ago, and something happened. What happened?
I was attacked by a swarm of wasps in my backyard. I go into my backyard 3-4 times a day to play with my dogs and throw a ball around and chase them. And I was sitting in a chair, and I had been out there 2 hours before that, sitting exactly where I was, throwing the ball for the dog, and I felt a bee sting. And I looked down and I said, "Oh my gosh, I just got stung by a bee." And then I saw another one, and I kind of flicked him off, and I turned my head to the left, and an entire swarm. And I mean, they were all over me.
Whoa.
I'm yelling for the dogs, "Come on, we got to go." I get inside, and they're on my shirt, and I was in shorts. They were up my shorts. They were down my back.
How many times did you get stung?
14.
Yikes.
14 times.
Ow.
And I called my wife, who's a nurse, and I said, "Hey, I've been stung at least a dozen times." She said, "You got to go to the ER." I said, "I don't think I'm allergic to bees or wasps." She said, "You got to go to the ER anyway.
Yeah.
You got to go."
That many stings from a wasp.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't look like a potato after that.
Yeah, it just,
They nest in the ground too, don't they?
that was the deal. Yeah, it was a
you
ground
think about
nest.
it, and you think they're up in a tree or on the side of a wall, but no, they're like in the ground.
That's exactly what happened.
So there must be yellow jackets or something? Or,
Yeah.
well, those things don't feel too good.
Took two cans of the yellow jacket
A spray?
eliminator, full cans to get rid of them.
And you got rid of them.
Yeah.
So, Jim, what are you drinking?
I would drink. Do you have anything non-alcoholic? down there?
We do. In
do you
fact,
got?
I have a little special sparkling ice here.
Ooh.
How does a watermelon sound?
Starburst.
Starburst
Oh, my God.
flavor. Those are so good.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Brett, that's not the drink that you lace with opium and THC, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that's only.
That's in a different shelf.
That's there are two in the fridge for those that like THC, but I'm not a THC guy at all.
I do it for bed, but
Little gummy?
I guess I shouldn't, because I'm no longer, I'm a retired police officer, so I could do it. I'm just scared to. I just don't know
That would scare me.
how I would react to it. I know if I have a couple of Guinness, how I react to a couple of Guinness.
It's a body thing.
But I don't know. And Patrick, you said you had one of those THC drinks and then had a beer or something, and it was like, woo.
Oh yeah, no. So I had these. They're called Cruise Chews from Cheech and Chong. It's their own brand, but they're such like they're a microdose. So so it's legal to buy and ship. If it's any more than like 0.5 whatever THC level, you can't ship it.
5 grams. Yep.
Yeah. So I ordered them like a year and a half ago, and I thought it would be kind of cool. And I took 2 once, and it didn't do anything. And then I took 4 once, and then I was like, oh, okay, I feel a little bit of something. But then I took 2 one night, and I literally had just the 2. It was just gonna chill out. But then I had like 1 beer. And it was like, boom, I had this like, whoa, I just got to like somewhere real quick, So, and then so I got another story on top of that is I actually went to a dispensary and because I like to, I also have some aches and pains and then like the sleeping thing. I actually went and bought some of the THC stuff at a dispensary and they're 10 milligrams per. So I started out, I took a half of one. It was like nothing, maybe I figured it out, but it took like an hour and I kind of felt something and it was just like my eyes were tingling and I was sensitive to light and I was a little chill, but I'm like, all right. So the next time I took a full one, a 10 milligram, and I'm like, these ain't shit. 2 hours later, I was staring at my ceiling going, oh my God, the devil's coming to get me.
Bingo bango.
But no, it wasn't like that. I was like really chill, and I'm like, okay, I can't do these when my kids are around. They weren't that time either, but I was just like, okay, I can't do a 10. A 10 milli will get me messed up, and I figured it out that it takes about an hour to kick in, and then it lasts about 2 hours for the high. So knowing that, you know, like you said, with a Guinness, you know where you're going to go if you have, you know, 4 or 5.
Yeah,
But,
add that little catalyst in there.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So
like-
I haven't done 10 millilies and drank anything. It's like I do one or the other. So
I like your shirt.
thanks.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
the bar with.
At the
Podcast
bar with
team.
shirt. Stacy, what are we drinking tonight?
I'll have a Stella if you got one down there.
I think I have one right here, and I got a koozie to go with it.
Wow.
What are you having there, Patrick, on a Monday night?
I got nothing at my table, but it's in the fridge. So let me get up real quick and get it.
All righty.
How about Gene? What are you drinking today? You drinking anything today at all?
Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc,
The huge.
the huge.
Yep.
My wife is a box wine drinker.
I like it.
So do you drink it all through winter like that, or do you turn to red? Like I know Anne turns
No.
to red.
I don't really care for red.
Okay, at all.
A Pinot Noir maybe once in a
How
while.
about
but
like a
that's-
Zinfandel?
no.
No.
Oh, God, no.
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 Nothing sweet.
Oh. Is it the sweet? Is that dry or
It's very dry.
It's
very dry? Okay.
And I'm having my usual. Well,
That looks like
it's just a straight Guinness. Normally, I have a poor man's black velvet, so it has Strongbow and Guinness and kind of a little mix
Does
there.
Gene still sacrifice animals and drink their blood?
But
Sometimes.
it's after Halloween
for
now, so
holidays?
yeah, we're
Yeah.
going into the holidays. So
The dogs just ran upstairs when you said
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. The
I'm
Allstate.
Mr.
Yeah.
Consistent here with my
yeah,
Golden
Golden Gate
Gold
cider.
State cider.
Golden
Well,
State. That's
this
right.
is terrific.
Is that good
Yeah.
stuff?
Yeah,
I get
buy
the
these.
Starburst ones are awesome.
Starburst tastes
They
just
have
like
like
the
a-
candy.
Yeah, they have like the lemonade, the orange, watermelon, cherry. I mean, they're
They have
Strawberry's
cherry?
good.
yeah. It's
Stra-
Look at these.
Cub.
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 Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
go.
On
awesome.
the way home. Look at this,
Food
dude.
here.
0 sugar plus
Yeah.
vitamins and antioxidants.
Yeah, it's good for you too.
But don't drink them at night because it's
Starburst is
got green
good for you
tea
at
in
the
it,
same
I
time?
think.
Well, it's got green tea extract, but there's
Oh.
no caffeine in it,
Yeah.
so you're good to go.
I'm
Yeah.
good to go.
So we should do a toast. I think we should do a toast. What do you think, Patrick, to the Minnesota Vikings for their
Yeah.
Hello.
Getting-
Hello,
getting
yeah.
JJ
Who saw that
McCarthy
coming?
back? Yeah,
Absolutely.
who saw that coming? Yeah.
Nobody.
Woo!
Clink.
Click, click.
Boy, it was great.
That was a good game.
Yeah, I enjoyed every. That's because of my goofy schedule. That's really the first game that I've had a chance to watch from pillar to post. And
You're lucky that was the first one.
Well,
Yeah.
you are.
I say this that's not true. I saw his first game. I
Oh, the
saw
first game?
McCarthy's first
Okay.
game, and I was like, I texted a buddy of mine and I said, if this is what we've got to look forward to, this is going to be awesome.
Mhm.
And then, of course, all hell broke.
Yeah, and then he
Yeah.
got hurt. But I mean, this game though, watching him from the first couple games, and then this one was a completely different quarterback.
Yeah.
It was like he was like,
He ran a touchdown.
well, the thing is, it's almost like he was thinking that somebody might take his job.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he played to keep his job, and boy, I think he secured his job with that game for
Yeah.
sure.
We'll see what happens next week if we can
And-
put two together.
Yeah, I mean, you're a big sports buff. I mean, you were the voice, you are or still are the voice of the Minnesota Wild and
Nope.
the Twins, or
Nope. Yeah, I left the Twins after the 2019 season.
Okay.
My kids were all done with college. I was there 24 years.
Wow.
That's a long
incredible.
time.
That's a very long time.
A lot of baseball. And then some of the people that hired me to work for the Twins had jumped ship and were going to start working for the Wild when they got here, and they took me with them.
Are you still doing the Wild?
No.
Oh,
no,
so you're
no.
not- so you're-
COVID killed that department, so I'm out of sports completely.
Wow.
Yeah. Now I'm
What
just
capacity were you doing that? Were you doing, now up number 4, the loser, Jim Berditzman?
No, I was that was Adam Abrams.
Right, that was my next question.
I was the game host, so I did all of the pregame stuff and anything that happened in between innings up on
Okay.
the jumbotron. That was me interviewing people.
Oh, okay. Yep.
and the same thing for the Wild. Oh, it was a
Oh,
blast.
fun.
It was-
I moved to Sacramento, and all they had here is a Sacramento River Cats, which is a AAA affiliate. At the time, it was the Oakland A's. Now it's the Giants. But the first gig I tried to get here when I moved here in 2011, I had no job. I just quit my radio gig in Minnesota, and I tried out to be a in-game host at the River Cats.
Yeah.
There was like 5 of us, and we had to audition. And I did not get the gig, but the guy that got the gig was perfect, and we ended up being friends after that and all
That's
that
good.
stuff. So,
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had a
also
blast
there's,
doing it.
Wayne D used to be Big D at KDWB in Minneapolis. He's a big shot country DJ in Nashville, and he actually did the Vegas Golden Knights when he was in Vegas doing country there. But he was the in studio or in arena host for the Golden Knights, and then now he continues to do it for the Nashville Predators, and he's really good at it, and that's a fun job. I mean,
It was, yeah. I had a blast. It was 20 years with the Wild, and towards the last, I suppose, I'm going to say the last 3 years, there was always two of us, and so it was like a little sports show that we would do pregame, and then in between periods, we would go back to our desk, and we'd either have Wes Walls there or somebody that's coming through.
Did you do that with Paul Fletcher? Was
Yeah.
that, or was he after?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
good.
Paul.
Yeah, I know.
Paul's a good. In fact, I just was in contact with Paul yesterday. So,
Oh, okay.
we are.
Yeah.
He
I know he was doing that, and Kristen Krull does it now. I mean, I think they got a girl now.
Yeah.
They wanted to go, ladies, because
Yep.
fun to look at. But.
Hello.
Yep.
Even when
Yeah.
I was there were women doing it. So, and really
Yep.
talented folk. So.
And I went to high school with Kevin Fallness, and he does.
Oh, you did? Yeah, Kev's a great guy.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But,
Okay.
Oops.
No, I'm kidding. He's a prankster and he's a jokester. So anytime you get a chance to rip on Fallness, you have to do it. But he's been doing the radio gig there since they became. We both went to radio school. I went and did rock radio. He went to Denver and did some hockey stuff with the Avalanche. And then when the Wild came about, he came back here and he's been the guy. The radio guy. He does the pregame, the in between period updates, and then the post game interviews.
Yeah, he's terrific and a very nice guy. So
Yeah.
So, I mean, how did you get into doing that? I mean, I know you do a lot of voiceovers, commercials, and stuff like that, and you've been in the acting business for decades, very, very long time. But what got you into doing the sports end?
I was doing radio ads for the Twins.
Oh, wow.
And got to be pretty good friends with a guy named Wayne Peterson, who was at that point in charge of that branch for the Minnesota Twins, all the advertising.
Nice.
And he initially hired me to film a television commercial for an old timers game. And Field of Dreams had come out that spring, and so they put me in an old Twins uniform, and I came out of the corn to talk to a guy who looked vaguely like Kevin Costner, and I looked vaguely like Ray Liotta. And so that's how we met, and then we sort of he started hiring me to do their radio spots, and we both had kids at about the same time that had some serious health issues.
Oh.
And so we, when they were born, and so we kind of became pretty good friends. And I don't know if you guys remember WCCO's Dark Star.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So the Twins, because in the Metrodome, how the revenue was split with the Vikings,
Yeah.
it was advantageous for the football team, not so much for the baseball team.
Baseball, yeah.
And so they were trying to conceive things that they could do that would be a revenue stream that was all their own. And so they decided to send a guy into the stands on Friday nights, and CCO's Dark Star was going to be the guy.
Wow.
And so when they eventually sold the element and got someone to sponsor it, it was Old Chicago Pizza. And Dark had a non-compete because Devani's was his big sponsor.
Yeah.
And so they used somebody from the front office, I think, for the first time. And then Wayne called me and just said, "Hey, I know you love baseball. Here's the situation I'm in. I need somebody to do this at Friday night home games. Nobody has a budget for this because
Right.
it was supposed to be our radio affiliate was going to provide the
Yeah.
talent. But I'll give you tickets to any game. You can bring your family, whatever.
That's fun.
I'll buy
how
you
much
dinner."
fun is that?
Yeah. So I said,
awesome.
I was doing Tony and Tina's wedding at the time.
Yeah.
And I went to Sandy and said, "Hey, I got this opportunity to go do this on Friday nights. There's like 8 of them." And she said, "Well, I'd like you to, if you want it, I'd let you do it. Do you think they'd let you wear your tuxedo?" And I said, I don't think they'd care what I wear, to be
Right.
honest. But
Yeah.
I called Wayne and said, the theater will let me do it if I can wear my tux. He said, I don't care what you wear. I just want you to come do it. So on Thursday nights after the show, I would take my tuxedo with me. And on Fridays, instead of going back to the theater to do Tony and Tina's wedding, I'd drive over to the ballpark, hang my tux in his office. We'd have dinner
God,
together.
that's great.
And then I'd watch 2-3 innings of baseball, go down to his office, put on my tux, meet the camera guy. We'd do a 30-second bit in the stands. I go back, change out, watch the rest of the game. It was terrific. And at the end of that season, they took me out to lunch, and Bob, the legendary Bob Casey.
Yeah.
No smoking.
No.
Yeah.
So Bob, coming out of that season, had a cancer relapse.
Oh no. Yeah.
And they weren't sure what was going to happen in the spring. They knew he was going to come back. They didn't think it was going to be life-threatening, but they didn't know if he'd be able to do every game, and they didn't know if he'd be able to,
Right.
make it through a game. And so then they hired me and said, we want you at every game. I said, there's just no way. There's just no way I could be at every game. Well, how many do you think you could be at? I don't know. Well, we'll take you for whatever you got, we'll take, and then we'll fill in whatever we need to fill in. So that's how it started. And 24 years later.
That's awesome. I mean, it's like falling into something that just all of a
story
sudden.
of my life.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Well, your voice helps out a little bit there.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. And like Gene and I would go to a Twins game, and it's like, there's Jim.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yep.
Yeah.
You so distinct,
Yep.
And for those of you who don't know, I was a bartender at Tony and Tina's wedding for a little while, and that's how I met Jim through that. And I'll tell you, I mean, I was doing the King Stocks out at the Renaissance Festival. That was like,
You guys work together there too?
didn't work together, but worked out there.
That's where I started. Was at
The Stocks. Yeah. It was a load of fun, made great money on the weekends. It was super fun. And getting the job at Tony and Tina's was just pulled me into a different world of, actors and, this, kind of dinner theater play with it was interactive with everything. It was an incredible concept. And I'll tell you, I had more fun with that job than I've ever had at any job. I mean, I looked forward to going to work because even though you're looking and hearing some of the same stuff each day, it's a little different each time. Because that improv that's in
Are
there.
you talking about Tony and Tina?
Yeah, Tony and Tina's wedding.
Because the Renaissance, you go home and you got black boogers from the dust.
Yeah. But I love Tony and Tina's wedding because there was always a different twist, on how the actors do stuff. And then when you had the actors that, had the day off and they had their understudies come.
What part did you play?
Tony.
You played Tony.
He was the man, the myth, the legend.
Something I never went to see.
It was a blast. I was talking today with somebody who was not in the cast, but a longtime improv actor in town. And I just said those days of Tony and Tina's wedding, which would be 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
I was just thinking about that. It's like, how long ago was that?
30 years ago, right now.
They have that production here in Sacramento. I got some tickets off Timo, and it's for Tony and Tim's wedding. So it's a little different. It's a little bit more modern. It's a bit modern. It's great. It's 2025, man.
And you play Tim.
Did you say Timu?
But but the cast was great, and everybody was so cool. I mean, what was it? Melissa Peterman.
Yeah.
Came from that. John Brady and John who married Melissa. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
God, John was probably the funniest human being I've ever met.
He's insane.
The guy was so funny.
Yeah.
Everything he did was hilarious.
He's a genius.
Oh, God.
And I'm still locked in and in contact with most of those people.
Oh, that's great.
It was a really, I probably in my lifetime will never be in a room with that many talented.
Oh my God, the talent was unreal.
Mega talent.
I was in awe. I mean, I'm just a bartender and did the catering and stuff, but to be around it.
Yeah, it was fun.
I was just so much fun.
Lightning in a bottle.
Oh, it was great. Yeah. And I mean, I remember a few times I had a Harley Davidson back then. I had would drive it downtown, and I remember Melissa, I drove it to the back, and she came out and she's looking at it, she's like, oh my God, can I take pictures of that? And then somebody came out and said, should have him drive you in on that.
Funny.
And I did that. So I drove down the sidewalk and I'm just laying on it, and she gets off and she runs inside, and it was, I mean, it was the most fun I've had at a job. And
it was a blast.
it was
no two ways about it.
So what other things when did you start all this stuff, this acting stuff?
All my life.
All your life?
Yeah, my mother would tell you, God rest her soul, her birthday's tomorrow. She'd have been 102.
Wow.
Oh my
all right,
gosh.
Mom,
Yep, there's one
put them
for
up.
Mom.
Yep, there
Mom,
you go.
one for Mom.
What was her name?
Lorraine,
Lorraine.
Happy birthday, Lorraine.
happy birthday.
Cheers.
One of my really good friends' name is Lorraine.
So obviously you didn't do that at the military academy school or the.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did.
There was theater there.
They had theater
yeah,
there?
Yeah. I did it all through grades too, all through high school.
Wow.
Went to the U, and then started getting work. The big place I wanted to work was Dudley Riggs' Brave New Workshop,
Okay.
and do improv. So I eventually got cast there and was part of that resident company for almost 4 years. And while I was doing that, an agent saw me and reached out and said, I think I could get you work if you're interested. And I said, but I'm very interested.
Yeah.
And so she started getting me work. And when I was going to leave Dudley Riggs, because it was that is a very you would rehearse rehearse and write during the day. Then you'd usually go home, shower, come back to the theater Tuesday through Saturday, and do a show and an improv set. So it was really, very intense. And you'd have, once the show opened, you'd get 2 weeks with no rehearsals. And then you'd go back to writing the next show. And so it was and so when I was ready to leave there, my agent said, don't get another theater job. Don't get another job. Give me 6 months and let's see what happens. And I've never looked back.
Wow.
So it's been good.
Now you've done a lot of commercial work too.
It's I've been very, very fortunate. I've really blessed. I've never left the Twin Cities, which
That's huge.
helps if you hang out in one place long enough.
Yeah.
especially
Are you from the Twin Cities?
Yeah, I grew up in St. Paul.
Okay.
Still live in St. Paul. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah.
Well, I asked you earlier if you knew a friend of mine, Scott Jorgensen, and he's, as you know, he's playing Snot at during the Renaissance Festival. Do you still keep in contact with him? Or?
I do, yeah. I'll tell you my Scott Jorgensen story.
Okay. Scott, I hope you're listening because I'm going to send this to you.
Oh yeah.
My wife's family had a cabin in Annandale, Minnesota.
Okay.
And there is a great meat market in Annandale called McDonald's Meats, and they're really good. And so when they sold their cabin, one of the big tear-jerking moments was, well, we're not going to be able to get those brats from McDonald's anymore. And so one Sunday, I was doing maybe it was the Shriners. I don't remember who I was doing a corporate show at the convention center in Minneapolis. And I did the morning, and then I didn't have to be back till like 4:00 in the afternoon to do the rest of it. So I thought, and it was 4th of July was the next weekend. I thought, I'm going to surprise my wife and drive up to McDonald's and get some brats. And so I did. I drove up to McDonald's. I got some brats. And as I turned around and was coming home, I got a flat tire. And I pulled into a 7-Eleven-y kind of place and tried to get that stuff you spray.
Oh, yeah.
It was just get
The
me
foam in a
home.
can.
And now I'm looking at my watch, it's 2:00 and I'm in St. Cloud essentially.
Oh, my God.
I got to be back. And so it didn't it didn't work. And so I got out the jack and was going to start jacking up the car. And there was one lug nut that was a different shape. And I was like, I'm looking at it going, what the hell? And
You didn't have AAA?
well, no, I didn't at the time because it was a fairly new car.
Okay.
So
is that a locking nut or plug that was on?
and so while
no.
I'm puzzling over it, a guy comes out of the 7-Eleven and comes around to where I'm parked, and I look up, and it's Scott. I go, Scotty, and he goes, Jimmy, what are you doing? I said, I'm trying to change this goddamn tire. And I don't know what. He said, oh, it's a locking nut. He said, I bet you in your glove compartment. There's a thing. I said, really? He said, I bet there is. And so I opened the door. Sure enough, he said, yeah, now put that there. Now, so he helped me, and this was before his hip surgery. He helped me change the tire and got me back on the road, got me down there so I could do the rest of my gig. So I am forever grateful to him. He's a heck of a guy.
Yeah, he is. We used to roller skate a lot together back in the high school days, and it was nice to see his career take off and do different things.
He's very talented and
always funny
and a really nice guy.
Yeah, very, very
and
nice.
Stacy and I, when you were talking about meat markets, Stacy and I worked at a meat market downtown. It's called Tropics.
Yeah, and
we had security there in the late 90s.
Which is funny because they did security together and had no idea that they knew each other from this job when they started doing this podcast.
Yeah,
25 years later, we're like, "Did you work there then?" Yep. Oh, okay.
Well,
you remember Gus? Yeah, Gus. You know,
that's a much different Patrick, though. There was a much younger Patrick that I remember.
Yeah, a little younger and thinner, for sure.
It happens to all of us.
Well, it was a meat market. Figure that one out.
So
Lots of tuna.
you still work out at the Ren Fest, though, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Feast of Fantasy, and
I host the Feast of Fantasy out there, and that's next year, God willing, if I survive, we'll make my 35th year hosting.
holy
the show.
smokes!
You gotta celebrate that one.
Yeah, you bet I will.
Now you do the Feast of Fantasy over the time that the Renaissance Festival is working. Then you do another one in October.
Yeah, I do their now. I took over their Halloween show about 14 years ago, and do a Halloween show there in that same feast hall that we do
nice.
Feast of Fantasy. And I had been doing let's see, it would have been the fall of 86, so coming up on 40 years.
Wow.
I did a Halloween show that a magician in Chicago had conceived and written a book about it. I'm sort of a closet magician.
Oh, wow.
When I went to the magic store, the guy behind the counter who knew me for years, Larry Kalo, owner of the longest continuing running magic store in America.
Wow.
Wow.
Used to be right on Portland in Minneapolis,
Yeah.
and now it's in Burnsville. But I walked in that day in 86, and Larry said a book came in. This would have been 85 because I did the show in 86. He said a book came in that you have been waiting for your entire life. I said, really? He said, let me show you. And he took out this beautiful book called Spirit Theater. And it was all about how to do a show that about ghosts and spirits and haunting and this. And I said, how much is it? He said, it's $50. And it was more money than I had
Right.
at the time. And so a couple of days later, I was playing poker with some of my high school buddies, and I won $73.
Oh,
Back to things falling in your lap.
Yeah, I was back at the magic store. I want that book, Larry. Give me that book. And I just
awesome.
cold called the guy. I read the book, thought it was fantastic, and I just cold called the guy. It was long before the internet or anything like that. And I just called him, and I said, I called 411 in Chicago and said, I'm looking for the number of a Eugene Berger. Yep, here it is. So I just called him, and I said, Mr. Berger, yes. My name's Jim Cunningham. I'm an actor in the Twin Cities. I read your book. I love it. I'd like to do that show. I'm wondering if you've sold the rights to anybody. Who are you? You don't know me. I'm an actor in the Twin Cities, and I'd really like to do your show. Why don't you call me in a week? I'm just running out the door. I said, okay. So I called him in a week, and he said, oh, yeah, right. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just leaving for a dental appointment. Can you call me in a week? I said, yeah. And so I called him the third time, and we had a long conversation. And he told me after the fact, because he was a great teacher. God rest his soul now, but he was a great magic teacher. He said, I always put people that call me like that off twice. And if they call back a third time, I feel like they're serious. So I'll take
good for you. Yeah.
take the time to chat with them.
That's smart, though.
Yeah.
I mean, because then you're weeding out.
That's right. That's what he said. I don't want to spend time with anybody who's not really serious about it.
Wow.
Right.
And so he was kind enough to allow me to do the show after a couple of phone calls. And he said, there really is no working script. You're going to have to create it on your own, but I will help you. And I said, well, let's talk about royalties. He said, I don't want any royalties, but what I would accept is if you bring me to Minneapolis and set up a lecture for me for magicians, that's how I'll make my end. And I said, that's great. And he said, then I want you to come to Chicago, and we're going to work on the front half of the show. And while I'm in Minneapolis, I'll work on the back half of the show, because it was, so the front half of the show was me talking about trying to make contact with the spirits and how wanky that was in the turn of the century.
Sure.
And then I would do something magical that would make you go, well, how did that happen? And then the back half of the show, I would introduce a woman who would do what we called the dark room. And so all the lights would go off, and then all hell would break loose, and people would be screaming and begging us to turn the lights back on.
Did you still have this book?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Signed copy of it.
Signed copy right there on your.
Oh yeah. So I did that for a while, and then stopped doing it because I got hired by the Twins in the Wild, and I thought, I don't want to be doing a show in October on the off chance the Twins go to the series.
Right.
I don't want to be in a cave somewhere trying to
And they
scare
did.
people.
And they did.
Well, not when I was there.
No,
They didn't.
okay.
I got married in '91, and we watched every game on our honeymoon except Game 6 because we couldn't find a TV
Wow.
in Kennebunkport, Maine. So,
Wow.
But not while I was there. They did very little in terms of World Series.
So, I suppose being the actor type and doing all this stuff, you do a lot of different things on the sides all together at the same time, or was it always just one thing at a time?
No, if you're gonna try to make a living at this and raise a family and send kids to private schools, and you really have to have as many irons in the fire as you can possibly have. So between the live theater stuff, and then I started emceeing corporate events, and I do a chunk of that every year, especially from January till about June. I'll do that, and then I'm back to the festival for August and September, the Halloween show in October. I do a one-man Charles Dickens show now, Thanksgiving weekend at a hotel in Hastings.
Okay.
And then I produce and am in a show at the St. Paul Hotel at Christmas time.
Okay.
So, and then it just starts all over again. God
Do
willing.
you have anything from acting or voiceover work that is paying you residuals? Like you're getting checks for $1.17 every now and then?
Yeah, actually, it's not. It hasn't skipped down to that. I got cast in a Hallmark movie called Rescuing Christmas. And so that is always fun when I go to the mail and there's a check from Rescuing Christmas for $750 or $2,200. So that's been fun. That's been fun.
What is the name of that? Rescuing Christmas?
Rescuing Christmas.
That was a Hallmark.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
No,
awesome.
from the Hallmark Channel.
Yeah.
What role did you play?
I played the father of the lead girl who was
Okay.
She's now out in Hollywood, but she grew up here
Okay.
in the Twin Cities, but has been very successful.
And were you really a father at the time?
Yeah, this was just a couple of years ago when we shot it. So
Oh,
Yeah, 23, yep.
yeah, so
Yeah, Jim. Also, like I know you're not Hollywood or anything. You're Minneapolis, St. Paul. But if productions come to town, is there a mechanism where you are considered for roles, or do you keep your eye on things and go, "Hey, do you need somebody that can do this, that, or the other thing?" Like, do they put out calls?
you really have to have an agent. They're the gatekeepers for that kind of thing, and so if you don't have an agent, you're not only not going to get a call for that, but you'll never. Luckily, I've got a pretty good agent, and also one of the casting directors in town who directs or does the casting for most of the pictures that come through the cities. Is a friend of mine and likes me, and I've done work with her, and she got me that.
Who was our first female guest that was also an actress?
That was Jennifer
yep.
Katzenberg.
Yeah.
Yep, Kelsenberg, yep.
Yep.
That was a friend of mine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I was just going to ask if maybe your paths have crossed. Because she's done a lot.
Yeah, the name certainly rings a bell, but I don't think I've worked with her.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she does.
She used to date Mike Madonna, so I mean,
Oh, okay.
that's a claim to fame right there.
There you go.
That's how I remember.
Have you had the same agent the whole time?
I had the same agency for the majority of my
Okay.
time, and then that agency closed.
I see.
COVID really
Gotcha.
changed everything.
Oh, I bet.
I was, and I hate it. So I'm happy to say that out loud. I hate it. What we do now, but it used to be, you'd go to an audition in a room with people, and in a room with people, I can do things that I can't do over Zoom. I can, I can interface with humans.
You gotta catch the vibe.
Right, and I can
Energy.
And so now you seldom go to an audition. It's all Zoom, you film it and send it, and then if they like what they see, then they'll call you and say, either we're going to have a Zoom call back, or we want you to go to this place and do a
Seems
call
like
back.
that everybody's doing that now.
It is. That's the standard. And so my
That's how we do our
agency,
meetings here.
yeah,
I mean,
they just closed it down. And so luckily, the agent that handled the movie deal for me reached out to me immediately and said, "Hey, what are you going to do?" And I said, "I don't know." She said, "We'd like to rep you." And I said, "Okay." So,
let me think about
which
that.
you said,
yes.
that's my whole life right there in a nutshell. Would you like to be the game host for the Twins? Oh, okay. Would you like to be the game host for the Wild? Oh, okay. Would you like us to represent you? Yeah, okay.
You're supposed to say it like Brett. Okay.
Now, you doing anything on the side, like on your own, like YouTube videos and things like that, or you you said you did a couple podcasts. You do some podcasting.
Yeah, a local guy that I did probably 100 corporate MC shows for. He was a creative director for a company in town called Martin Bastian, and I did hundreds of shows with those folks over the years. And John retired and started writing books, is a novelist now, and has a mystery series, where the main character is a magician. And so he and he's got, I think there's 9 books in the series.
Interesting.
And
very interesting.
I recorded all of those books on Audible for him.
Oh, okay.
And
Awesome.
then we do a podcast together where if you listen to the entire season, you'll get a chapter of the book. So you can listen to the whole book for free if you want.
Sure.
But it really turns out that people listen usually to a couple of chapters and then buy the book.
Oh, sure.
Which is the whole, I don't think I'm telling anybody anything. That's what the podcast is about. Buy the book. And they're good books. They're charming. And so then we talk for a little bit, and then we have a guest, and it's usually somebody that can talk about something that's going to happen in the chapter, largely magicians. And we've talked to John is tremendous. And one of those guys, I'm not terribly organized, nor am I that guy who, but John is. He's just very locked down, organized. And so we've talked to Lance Burton and Mac King and Teller from Penn and Teller. And, I mean, some really big names, and they've all been. The magic community is very, very, very kind in terms.
You didn't really talk to Teller, right?
We
didn't talk
did.
back.
Yeah, Teller
talked to him.
Teller
he didn't
talks.
Talk back, right?
Teller talks.
Did he just nod on the phone?
Yeah, he's on the phone nodding.
I'll tell you the Teller story. John, my buddy John, who wrote these books, is among the smartest friends I've got. He's just really smart on the genius level. And so we got to Teller because we know a magician that Teller knows, and Teller has been working with this magician for years. This magician approached me. He lives in St. Peter, Minnesota, and sent Teller something, and Teller wrote back and said, "Hey, this is really good stuff." And so they became friends, and Teller sort of is his mentor. And so we were going to talk to the two of them about that relationship and what do you each get out of that relationship. And my buddy John opened the conversation by saying, we're so excited. Our friend Michael is here, but also from Penn and Teller is here. And we're going to talk about being a mentor and a mentee. And Teller went, stop. There's no such word as mentee. And John went, there isn't? He said, no, it's from it's from the Greek novel about Odysseus, and he leaves to go on his journey. He leaves his son with Telemachus, and Telemachus trains the son. There's no such word as mentee, and I was just loving it because here's my super smart friend in the first sentence being shut down by Teller. It's just great.
Oh my God, that is awesome. I can't believe he actually talked. I mean,
Yeah, he's really sharp.
Oh, I
Really,
bet. I mean,
really
well, you
sharp.
think about it. I mean, the two of them to be a dynamic duo in the magic world. I mean, you got to be quick, smart.
And Penn was a juggler, and they met and started working together right here at the Minnesota
Renaissance Festival.
Yeah.
So it sounds like
a
you
few weeks ago when we were talking about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So you have 3. It sounds like so you act, then you're a voice guy,
Yep.
and a little bit of magic.
I only do magic at 1 or 2 shows.
Oh, okay.
The Halloween show I do
Okay.
magic at it, but it doesn't look like I'm doing magic. It looks like there's ghosts in the room.
Okay.
And then
Is that like a new offshoot of what you're?
No, that started in '85 when I
85?
read
Oh,
that guy's book.
when you read that book.
Wow.
Okay.
40
Yeah.
years of it.
Okay.
And I just closed it Saturday night.
Okay.
So, and put it away today, back into storage. But and when I started through Eugene Berger, who wrote the original book, there was nothing. You had to just sort of make it up. How is this going to happen? Well, maybe if I did X, Y, Z and maybe ran some fishing line to, that was it. Now you can go online and order anything you want. A Ouija board where the planchette moves by itself, a bell that'll ring. You can
I
just order.
changed
it.
it. Yeah.
Like, wow,
Wow.
this makes life a lot easier. In the old days. So
What do you think about The Mentalist? It's kind of magic, but it's not. The Odes Perlman guy. That's
he's tremendous.
He can talk to you and figure out. He figured out Joe Rogan's PIN number just by talking to him.
Yeah, it's
ATM card.
Yeah, I saw him at a conference I was hosting, and
really?
they brought him in, and he was dynamite. He was spectacular. So
He's doing a tour now because I think he just had a book out. So he's doing the rounds on podcasts. So I saw him on Segura's podcast. He's been on Rogan's. But it's amazing how he can just – he was on Segura's podcast, and he just asked one of the crew guys to come out and talk to him. And he's like, think of a person that you know that I have no idea who it is. And then he goes, it's a girl, right? And he's like, yeah. And then he goes, they talk a little bit more, and he goes what's her date of birth? And he goes, May 31st, 1980. And before all this, he had given Tom or asked Tom to pull out a $1 bill and just crumple it up in his hands, or any bill that he wanted out of his wallet. He crumples it up, puts it in his hand, and then he goes, hey, Tom, open your money that I didn't touch earlier. Open that up and give me the serial number. And I'm thinking it's going to be 05311980. And sure as shit, it was.
What?
wow.
It's total mind. Like, come on.
How do you do
There's
that
a plant
stuff?
there somewhere where he planted, but Tom legit took out his wallet and just shuffled through a bunch of bills and just grabbed one and crumpled it up in his hand. And it's like there's too many dynamics for that to be real. Like, it's like
Well,
such a
David
mind
Blaine, yeah. When you get these guys that can do this stuff, it's just amazing how their brain works. It's wild. I used to watch that series.
Yeah, who was that guy? Yeah, the big one that got famous like 20 years ago. He was the
Uri Geller?
No, not he was good too. But there was like the Chris
Angel?
He was like
Chris Angel?
Yeah.
Chris Angel. Yep.
And he would take his stuff to the streets and with no props, no setup, no.
David Blaine
you know
did that too.
You're thinking
Blaine
of David Blaine. Yeah,
Oh,
David Blaine is incredible.
Yeah.
There's just no two ways
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's like when they're on stage doing it, it's like, okay, that's a controlled environment. They have time to set up, trap doors and whatever. But when you're just out on the street, or
Chris Angel could make them do stuff like strangers walking by, just like do stuff like fall down and seriously.
Well, and that's like David Blaine started doing some of the redoing some of the Houdini tricks, and it was just mind blowing how he did it. And he did a modern twist on these tricks that Houdini did. How many years ago? 150 years ago.
Houdini died in October 31st, 1926.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Jeez.
but yeah, I saw David Blaine when he came through at the State Theater, and he did. There was a big tank of water, and audience members were allowed to stand around it, and he held his breath for 11 minutes. And if he didn't hold his breath for 11 minutes, then however he did it was so clever, he might as well have held it.
Right.
It was so good. And at one point, you've probably seen it, or if you haven't seen it, you can YouTube him. He will do this deal where he will take a glass and he'll be talking to you and then just go, "Bleh," and vomit up a frog. God is my way.
Yeah.
He'll spit out a frog, and he will have been talking to you for a while.
He must have known my grandmother, because every time she would get up from the couch really slow, she would go really slow and then rip one, and she'd go, "Stepped on a frog."
And then when it was over, he would drink the frog.
Oh my God! That's just a crazy stuff.
He's incredible. I think.
You know,
there's another one that was on Netflix recently that I saw within the last half year, and it's Justin Willman.
Yeah, he's great.
Do you know him?
They filmed it here in the city, in Minnesota, I think.
Yeah, that's right. So it's called Magic Lover, and if you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. It will blow your mind, because it's the same thing, of hour of him just guessing, hey kid, what's your name? Blah 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 blah. And then at the end of the show, there's like all these sorts of people, and they have randomly selected something. I can't remember, cards or something, but they turn them over, and it's the kid's name from 45 minutes earlier. It's just absolutely insane how that stuff works. And I've watched it, and then I watched it again, like, come on. But it's so insane. So again, Justin Willman, A Magic Lover, on Netflix, and it was done in Minneapolis, I think. So,
and there's another one another one I'll recommend to you that for me is just unbelievable. It's called In and of Itself. I think it's on Hulu, and the magician is a guy named Derek Delgadio. And you're going to watch this thing and go, what in the hell just happened? How God's name?
This is why we burned witches in the 50s.
Exactly.
Right. But those, I mean,
my uncle did.
When you see that kind of
Your
stuff,
uncle burned witches?
Yep.
Yeah, those are kind of my favorite magicians, where you're like stumped. You're like, what just happened?
Watch this thing with Derek Delgadio on Hulu. In and of Itself, and I watch more magic than I should.
Yeah.
And so when I look at something and go, oh my God, what is happening here? Because I watch and read a lot about it. So I have a pretty firm grasp of a potential method on just about everything I see.
Right.
I watched this thing and went, I got absolutely
I have
no
nothing.
idea how this is going on.
There was, when I worked at TGI Fridays as a bartender at the TGI Fridays in Roseville,
They had a musician.
a magician there. His name was Derek Hughes.
Derek Hughes is a local guy again.
Yeah, and Derek worked there and did magic, and some of the stuff he did was like, how in the God's name are you doing this?
Yeah, Derek is world class.
Yeah, just unbelievable. And I remember he was going to do a magic show in the cities here, so he bought out like the auditorium. I can't remember where it was at, but I remember someone telling me that he bought it out, spent all his money on buying it out, and then told all his friends and family, help me sell these tickets, let's get it going. And he sold it out, did such a great job that I think he sold out like 3 more nights. He booked 3 more nights and sold it out. Yeah. And that's him doing it himself.
Yeah, he's a genius. He's
just unreal.
He's world class. World class magician. I mean, and I've known him for years, but have done corporate shows with him, and he pairs it up. They go crazy for the stuff he does. And he's a genius.
And he's super nice. I mean, it's not like, it's somebody who's like, nice to meet you, walk. I mean, he talks to you.
Yeah,
he's really down to earth, and he's really cool. And I remember I hadn't seen or heard from him. It's been years since I saw him, but we're watching some Adam Sandler movie, and he was in the movie.
Yeah.
I think it was Mr. Deeds. Mr. Deeds, I think that was it. And I was like, oh my God, thank God.
Yeah.
Because he's so talented. He should be doing stuff like that. But his magic was outstanding. And we saw him on America's Got Talent.
Yeah. He did very well on America's Got Talent.
Oh, and it was great. And it was a lot different than than the magic that I saw him do
Oh yeah, he's really
before. This stuff was, I mean, great adult,
yeah.
super cool adult
absolutely.
oriented
Really
instead of the usual here, look at my cards, pick a card and write on the card, or stuff like that. His stuff was like unique. It's like, okay, that's weird but super cool.
Yeah, he's something else. He's the last time I saw him, we were at a magic show together of somebody that came through town, and magic geeks will go, and so we both were there, independent of each other. But his son, I had a small role in another movie called Good Sport.
Okay.
And his son played one of the lead kids in the movie. So
Awesome.
I hung out with Derek
awesome.
on set while we were shooting.
That's
And
awesome.
Just a delightful human being.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he is.
Now, are you going to be doing magic shows in the future?
I really, I find magic fascinating and fun to watch. I don't like performing it very much. There's an element of stress. That I just told my wife that the Halloween show that I do is the most stressful show I do all year.
Really?
Because there's so much I have to kind of that's going on at one time in my head. The lines for the show. Who am I going to pick? I need somebody that's like this, and there's just a lot going on. Plus, I'm not really a magician, so. Like if a magician makes a mistake, they can usually figure a way to make it work for themselves.
Yeah,
I don't have that. So if my stuff doesn't work, all I can do is blame the spirit.
Oops.
Oops.
So I don't
smoke bomb.
I don't think I'd ever be a magician.
Well, and that's the plus side. I mean, you do a lot of comedy stuff too, but I suppose you could make a joke out of it, and people think it's part of the show.
Right.
Like
Was there something behind the spirit thing? Is there something with spirits that you like?
It's
been
all
intrigued by.
Always for me as a kid. Yes,
Ghosts and spirits.
Ghosts and Halloween was always the biggest holiday for
It's
me.
the
even
best
bigger than
holiday ever.
yeah. I
What did you
agree.
dress up as? Do you have any favorite costumes or anything you did? Because for me, it was like we always painted our faces like Kiss, so it was kind of hard. A couple weeks ago, Ace Frehley left us, but yeah, I was like I was either Kiss or Star Wars. Like
That's
those
because
were the
Patrick-
two go-tos.
Patrick likes to use glitter on his face. That's why.
Oh, shut up with the glitter.
I always went with spooky. It was always something spooky for me. That was the big deal. So
That's like Rob Zombie did an interview
Yeah.
with me back at 93X, and I asked him about Halloween, and he's like, you know what? You can't dress up and be a mailman. Like that's not
right.
we're not
That's
doing
exactly
that.
right.
You gotta be something scary, like a
Yeah.
zombie or
Yep.
just a skeleton or a witch or like Jean. Like you gotta be
I know. You know what? I didn't even
Jean
have
with
to.
glitter.
I didn't even have to dress up this year. I just got out of bed.
I bet.
nice.
Yeah,
And I
you
dre-
just
it-
went out.
I was dressed up as a hag. It was perfect.
Kids knock on the door. Jean opens it. They run instead of
Yeah.
getting candy. They're like,
Ah!
That's right.
The best costume I think I had one year, I dressed up as generic guy.
Generic.
So I was the same crime fighting capabilities of the regular superhero at a fraction of the cost.
I love it.
So I had like white long underwear, and I had a Speedo with a nut cup in there, and then I pinned together this like a Superman logo, but it had barcode on it.
Nice.
and a cape and stuff, and I walked around, and with the nut cup in there, I'd go, "Have you seen my package?"
I sent Patrick
Nice.
my best costume. I just sent you a picture of it.
Uh-oh.
oh, yeah. Okay. So I was gonna say while I'm opening this, I saw one online of there's this girl. She's probably 12 or 13, and she's got silvery Foxus Bob wig on, and her name tag is Karen, and she's got a clipboard, and she's walking around, and whoever's filming it, she's like, "This violates HOA Halloween decorations." And then she's like, gets in a golf cart and says, "Take me over here now." And she's got she's just like, "Oh my God, that kid
that's
is
so funny.
I was at.
Holy crap, Stacy.
Yeah, that's
Boo.
a good one. Yeah.
Holy crap.
yeah.
Oh my God.
Darth
yeah.
Maul.
Darth Maul, yeah.
That's
That,
awesome.
that was a good one.
That is
I like
a good
that
one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't you, Brett? Didn't you stuff yourself one year with hay?
Oh my God, that was. I mean, this is bad. Now, back
This is
when
when
I
you
was in
lived in-
high school,
Yeah.
this is how long ago. I lived on a street, and the house behind me was one of my best friends, a guy named Matt. Matt was a goalie, and I played hockey with him and stuff. But his older brother had one of those Jason style goalie masks, real McCoy.
Yeah.
So we were like handing out candy because his porch had like the long porch with the railing, and the kids would walk up, and then there's a rocking chair there, and we got getting bored just handing kids candy, and he's like, we should scare these kids. I'm like, well, what do you got that's scary? And he goes and gets the mask and puts it on. I'm like, oh, we can do one better. And his parents, put the hay bales and stuff out. So I go, my dad's got a huge axe. So he had a birch cutting axe. So it's this blade, and it goes down like this and goes like this with a big handle. I mean, it's an ugly looking axe. So I go get the axe, and I put on some overalls, and we stuff the hay in there. And then I put on the hockey
hay
mask.
coming out like the cuffs.
Of the cuffs, and I had gloves on, and in my hand I had candy, and we put a sign that says, please take one, sitting there. The kids would come up, ring the doorbell, they're waiting, and the kid would point over, and he'd go to grab a piece of candy, and shut my hand, and then stand up with the axe. Rah! The kids are screaming, leaving their bags behind and stuff. And finally somebody's dad came up and said, and he's smiling, he goes, I think this is freaking hilarious, but my kid just pissed himself.
Going home now.
Do you have his bag of candy anywhere? Yep, here it is. He goes, maybe you guys should tone it down a little bit.
So down in Anoka, when I was working there for Halloween, there's this guy during the Zombie Fest. He was there during the tent party. He was there, and for the Halloween, he dresses up as Jason.
Oh God!
From Halloween, right? Is that Jason, right? Michael Myers.
Mike
Myers is Halloween. Yeah.
So he's got the mask on, and he's got a sign that says, "Has anybody seen my sister?" And it's a picture of
Jamie Lee
Curtis. And he won't say anything to anybody. He just walks around and he just has it, and he'll just stand in the window, and you talk to him. He won't talk, and I guess he's been doing it for like 30 years.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he's been there like every year. I don't know if you know this or not.
I was just going to ask you.
I was working the door at Casa. My friend owns Casa Rio, the restaurant, the Mexican restaurant
in Anoka.
Right next to Serum's, and the police shut it down. It's the first time in 30 years they shut the whole city down. Kicked everybody
like
out.
12:30.
12:30. Yeah.
Wasn't
it must have been about 11:30. A cop comes up to me at the door, and he's like, I want to know your numbers. I want to know your exact numbers right now. And if you don't know them, find somebody who does. Right. So I go get Mike because he's the owner. I'm like, I have no idea. I wasn't tracking. I was just letting everybody in. We're probably 300 deep. Capacity is 106.
Okay.
Yeah. So every bar was packed. Every place was packed.
Because Anoka is the Halloween
capital. The Halloween capital.
Yeah.
But it's on a Friday.
Right.
So
I thought Salem was.
So
yeah, no.
Friday.
That's the witch burning camp.
Yeah. So then he's like, so they talk, and then we had to close the doors. We couldn't let anybody in. People started to leave. We got it down to about 106. We were going around counting, and then the fire marshal comes in.
Okay.
And says, I'm really glad you're doing that. So, but after a while, I'm standing by the door, and all of a sudden, all these cops start going down First Avenue. If you know where that area is, first. All these cops were there. They block everything off. Something's going on. I feel the energy in the air. Not too much longer later, they came by and they said, we're shutting everything down. The whole city's shutting down. And I guess a gun was brandished, but I don't know about that. But there was a fight. So my friend sent me this clip, the police, the scanner thing. There's a fight on the ramp, and 2 people were in custody. And so it was starting to get out of hand.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And
which for me in Minneapolis is a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was packed down there. So they shut everything down and kicked everybody out of every bar.
Wow.
I had to kick everybody out. So it was pretty wild.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it was nuts.
I thought you were going to say, we were talking Star Trek before we got going.
Yeah.
No, the Michael Myers mask
Yeah.
is a Captain Kirk mask. That's what it started.
Oh, is it really?
Really?
It's a mold.
Seriously.
William Shatner mask.
It's a William Shatner mask.
Shatner mask mold.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Wow.
It's bigger and spray painted it white. But it
That's
started as Shatner.
Oh, it started as Shatner.
Shit.
Interesting.
Wow.
And they were so bad at it back then. Nowadays it's so real.
I know.
but they're so bad at it back then. It turned out like that. Yeah. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Patrick, what'd you dress up as?
I didn't dress up as anything.
Oh, and Patrick, to finish our story from earlier, when I said that, yes, my uncle on the bad side of our family is Nicholas Noyes. If you want to look him up, he hung witches in the Salem witch trial.
Oh, really?
What?
Yeah. So yes, I'm unfortunately.
Oh, so that's really why it was on the bad side.
Witches. No, maybe you guys know this. You know why they did that is because it was because of cats. Black cats are associated with witches, right? Well, it turned out that females back in that era, the ones that had cats, would kill the mice that were spreading the plague.
Yeah.
So females with cats lived while everyone else was dying, and they would go, witch. And then they would.
Oh, why are they
persecute
still
them.
alive?
Which
But
one?
Only because they had cats.
Party har.
Yeah.
No,
party
but that was
hard.
part of it. That was part
Yeah.
of it. That's
Interesting.
Like if you lived
Yeah.
through the plague or whatever, because they were killing rats and mice that were spreading it.
We lived
they
through
lived.
COVID. It's the same thing.
And they thought it was a little
Yeah.
sus.
I actually was in Salem, Massachusetts for my honeymoon.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Halloween night in Salem.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
That is
Nice.
awesome.
it was the night of the Halloween blizzard here.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
I know
Back
what year
in
that was. I
Oh,
know
yeah.
that was in 90.
93
Nope.
or 91?
That 91.
Yeah.
91, yep.
And
Same
that
year
was-
that the Twins won the World Series.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it was the first time in 666 years that Halloween fell on a Friday the 13th. Like, so, I mean,
Oh,
that's,
no wonder it was.
that's the trifecta.
Yeah.
Patrick studying his black magic again.
Jim's sitting
don't-
there like, what?
I can't,
He's trying to compute it in his
it's a new
brain.
math, isn't it? I'm not sure what just happened.
He's full of shit.
That was
which is funny. I mean, we're actually, so one of the guests that we had on here is a guy named Adam Coulong. If you're familiar with the Irish rock band Wild Colonial Boys, from the cities here, every year they do a tour in Ireland over Halloween.
Oh.
So they do that. So
They just posted it.
and they just posted it. So we're going to go to Ireland next year in 2026 over Halloween.
nice.
And do that. And we're excited because around here where we're at is this really dark, scary, area. So we get no kids
Ever.
ever.
Oh, really?
In
Never.
29 years, I got maybe 3 trick-or-treaters.
I think, yeah, I think we had 3.
It's
Yep.
because Gene lives there. That's why. Haven't you figured this
But I mean, the first year we were here, we bought
That's
like
good.
bags and bags
Three
of
people
candy.
were Gene's cousins or
Yeah.
nephews or nieces or something.
No, it was actually the people across the street from us, across the way. So they walked over and they had their stuff on, and I literally let them know, bring your kids over because I got too much candy.
Yeah.
And that's the only
would-
reason why we got
Yeah.
anybody.
I just grabbed a whole handful and just dumped them.
It's like, here's the bag.
Yep.
Take that
The
with
kid's
you.
like going, score.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, after that, we're like, after the third year, we're like, we're not buying candy again because
Brett keeps on eating it.
I just keep getting fatter and fatter because I have to eat it. But
That's
yeah,
okay.
we don't go to get anything. So
So what's on the docket next? What's your next projects that are coming up here?
This show.
all right,
I have a.
all right.
Charles Dickens.
Hold on. Let me put this up so people can focus in on that.
Charles, what? Dickskin? What?
Hello.
Hello.
I might go with that.
Charles,
It's a different show, kid.
Charles Force.
So when
Hey,
does
Brett,
this start?
hold that up again.
Oh, no.
This is a Thanksgiving
No,
weekend.
not in front of your face. There. Thank you.
There you go.
Jeez.
So this is Thanksgiving weekend, and then this side is the Christmas show at the St. Paul Hotel.
All right. So let's
we're gonna-
put this one up.
Fancy.
So here we go here.
So you have to grow
That's too small.
wait. You have to grow the beer out.
I do.
Then do you have to cut it off for this one?
I will.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is 1846.
Okay.
This is 1946.
they want the real.
Now, do you
they want the
have
real deal.
do you have
They want
this
the-
out on a website?
If you go to the Confluence Hotel website, yes, confluencehotel.com, you can see this. And then the Wonderful Life show that I do, this will be year 19, believe it or not.
Holy
Nice.
And you know what? Look at Tony and Tina's wedding. Tina and Tony and Tina's wedding.
Oh yeah.
my brother in Tony and Tina's wedding, and the director Ross from Tony and Tina's wedding.
That is
Oh, wow,
Something
so-
in Tony and Tina's
So you guys all stick
So
together.
chemistry
yeah,
has
half
been
the
established.
cast is
So
friends of mine
what
from
we'll
those
do
days.
is at the end of the podcast,
Yeah.
both these sides will be there for people to see.
Yeah.
And it has a handy QRC code for people to
I
snap
guess
a pic.
we've found maybe the QR code on the Dickens side does not actually take you to the right page, but just go to Confluence Hotel.
Perfect.
Oh, okay.
We'll put that on, and we'll add it to our website as well
That'd be cool.
to help
Fabulous.
promote you,
Thank
because
you. Thank you.
you are awesome.
I try to keep working.
Well, and you have
Are
to.
you still?
Another-
You got to
another-
pay for that at college.
Yeah, well, it's over now, which
Okay,
is just
good.
great.
Now you're paying for your
Yeah.
kids' college.
Yeah, no.
Now he's sending his dog to college.
So where are these? Where are you doing these at? What?
So this is the Charles Dickens show is a one-man version of A Christmas Carol.
Oh,
And I'm
wow.
using a script that Dickens himself put together for his public performances.
No shit.
Wow.
And so I do the whole show by myself and play all the characters, and
No pressure.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. No
fun.
pressure there.
yeah, it's fun. It's a nice. I enjoy it immensely. And then Wonderful Life is at the St. Paul Hotel.
Yep.
And it is only other people in the business react when I say the people in this picture are the original cast, and we've been together doing this show for 19 years.
That's
Wow,
awesome.
That is awesome.
Even
stuff.
though the guy who plays George Bailey and the woman who plays Mary Bailey no longer even live in the cities. He lives in Connecticut outside of New York, and she lives in Atlanta.
and they come
and
here.
they come up.
Yeah,
with-
because we're
Yeah.
doing it at the hotel. I said, well, I'm going to have to recast. And they said, don't. If they're willing to come back, just have them come back. They
Yeah.
can stay at the hotel.
Oh,
So
awesome.
they get to come and, live at the hotel for
Oh man.
3 weeks. And
So if we look that up, we can buy tickets and
yeah, they're selling
they're
like
already
crazy.
Oh, they're already
Oh, I
on
bet
sale.
you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I bet they.
This
sell
one
it.
goes, the Wonderful Life show goes on sale in a big Christmas in July event that the St. Paul Hotel throws. And we usually
Wow,
sell
I love that.
awesome.
about 1,000 tickets that afternoon.
Wow.
First time we held it, we were maybe a year 3 of doing the show, and they held this Christmas in July event, and they said the first 10 people to come down and buy tickets get a free room to go with the
Nice.
night of the show,
Wow.
and the first 10 people that call are also going to be able to get a hotel room. It shut down their phone system.
Oh, I bet it.
It
did.
have-
Yeah. Why
it
not?
down.
Yeah.
Wow.
You
They
can-
have
St.
good
Paul
food there
Hotel?
too.
Yeah.
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 Oh, it's really, and you do. You get your dinner or your lunch at both shows.
Yes, yeah, that's great.
I think that.
Okay,
and that,
I'm signed up.
yeah, it's really fun. It's a
Sold.
I like them
Sold.
both. I like them. This one, I like doing both shows, but this one is the Wonderful Life show is near and dear to my heart because these people and I have been together. The newest person in the cast that I didn't really know very well is Adina, and she's now going on 20 years of being my friend. But all these people here I met in the 80s.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's cool.
or Jen Edwards, who I met doing. She was Tina.
Tina. Yeah.
Yeah,
Tony.
so-
She was. That's awesome. I mean, and I'll tell you, for the folks, I mean, you are the real deal. I've seen a lot of been a part of
I
a
shook
lot
his
of
hand. He's
plays
real.
and seen a lot of actors that have come and gone. But I mean, you are the hardest working guy out there. And, and watching the show, when you left Tony and Tina's wedding, I was still there. It was missing something big
Well, yeah, because he wasn't there. Duh.
because you weren't there. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
you
appreciate
really,
that.
and and it's not, you really did make the show what it was.
Well, there's a lot of people who made the show what it was, but Jen and I had a special,
Right.
once in a while you catch lightning in a bottle like Tony and Tina's wedding, and Jen and I
It was
really had a good
it was
relationship on
awesome.
stage and off stage.
and all the actors, and it's not to downplay any of the other actors because all the
genius.
all of the
All of
actors there were just
Genius.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
But just the poise that you had playing Tony, I mean, it was, the real deal. I don't think anybody could, walk in your shoes and fill them. They could partially fill them, but they weren't filling them all the way. You did such a great job
Very
with it.
kind of you to say. There were a lot of good guys that
So-
did that role. I was just happy to be a part of it when it first started, and it still one of the most enjoyable by far experiences
Oh,
of my life.
And I'll tell you, I didn't do literally anything but, make drinks for people and slap, Caesar salad.
How many
onto a
people are on
plate.
that cast?
There's 1,000. There's like 30 of us.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
a lot.
Wow.
But and everything was going on around. But I mean, just the cast itself, they were so awesome.
Yeah,
There wasn't one person that was like thought that they were the shit. Everybody was great. They were happy. They talked to you. I mean, I had people. I just show up and I'm like, I'm a nobody, and walk up. Hey, how you doing today, Brett? And I'm like,
talking to me.
Yeah.
You're talking to me. You're talking to me.
oh, that's right. I'm the only Brett here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Theater's a lot different than
Yeah,
than
it
movies
was-
too.
it
I
was
mean,
awesome.
I was in 4 plays, and it's just I like the stage. I like the
I do
lights.
too. Yeah, I do
It's
too.
a different feel. The energies, the
Oh,
people are right
totally.
there.
Yeah, you got it.
And
It's a different deal.
Yeah.
It's a different skill set.
yeah, it is. And
but,
you have to project and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
I was in 3 plays in college. That was pretty fun.
I actually went to one of your plays, actually, and I was blown away. He was really like Stacy is acting in a play.
Nice.
And
was that Dragon Fist Hidden Gerbil?
no, it was something else. It was at Anoka
Oh,
Ranch.
That
God.
Anoka Ramsey,
And-
Homeward Angel or Dark of the Moon, I think.
It
Where
was-
were we hiding the gerbil? Let's go back to that. What the
Drake-
hell?
Oh, I want to know where they were hiding.
That was a
fists.
crazy. That was a crazy. That was a crazy.
No, but it was great. All of a sudden, Stacy came out and acted, and I was like, "Holy crap!" I mean, what?
Well, you may want to think about that.
Yeah, it was great.
Leave your card with the girl at the
Yeah.
door.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm in a movie called Strip Club Slasher for like 5 seconds. So if you guys want to Google that,
I
end
will
up
find it.
dying. It's just me pretending I'm dying, and it was pretty easy.
So
I was in a movie a long time ago. We all had to put our bathing suits on in the middle of winter in St. Paul by the ice sculptures, and we were all lined up and freezing our asses off with high heels and bathing suits on.
Called freezing our asses off.
I don't
and-
remember the
Was
name
there
of
a
it.
bus?
I had
Girls
a-
Gone Wild on the side of it. Parked
had
nearby. What
an
the hell is
agent,
this?
but
Where's
she-
this going?
I don't even. She retired, and I don't even remember the name of it. So
so long ago.
All right.
So you got some Christmas stuff going on. You got Halloween stuff. What other part of the season? 22 to Wedding's gone. Summertime, springtime.
Yeah,
shows?
so usually from January till about June, I'm doing corporate shows.
Okay.
So people will fly me. I'm going this year. I go to Nashville, Las Vegas, Orlando
Wow.
twice,
Mhm.
and then 2 shows here in the cities,
Mhm.
and then one. I think my last one is in Brainerd
Okay.
in June.
Mhm.
So there's usually a couple of months,
Mhm.
a couple of those shows a month, and I'm gone for 5-6 days.
And what is your most favorite one to do? All the things that you're doing here.
You mean
The shows, yeah. Christmas.
Well, let's
Whichever one's
ask
paying 'em at the
which
time, right?
which was your of all time, past, present. What was your favorite gig that you did?
wow,
It's probably a tough one.
gotta think.
Yeah, I suppose I still love doing the festival show. I have a great time out there every year.
Mhm.
Tony and Tina's wedding certainly would be
Yep.
a front runner there, but my time at Dudley Riggs in that improv company was a pretty special time as well.
And that's
Hey, Brett,
Dudley
didn't
Riggs
we
is
go
great. We
We did
actually
improv
took
there, didn't
we did classes.
Yeah.
Gene and I were like, let's do something together, and I've always kind of been interested in acting, in doing that stuff. But the acting I've done was Renaissance Festival.
Because you
where-
can wear a kilt with no underwear.
well, yeah, and there was and
Every year.
every year.
Oh, my God.
Well, it was, but it was,
Never get that visual out
and
of
I
my head.
love doing that because it was, we'd go by a script, but it was improv off a script, and we would just lay into people, and we'd try to get as many people as there as possible. And I started the gals that would have their stroller with the kid and it's all covered up in the middle of a show. We'd
It's
stop the
dusty
show
out there.
and it's dusty. I'm like, hey, lady. And she's like, stops and she's like, shit.
Yeah.
Looks over and I'm like, your kid that ugly, you got to cover it up.
There you go.
Those things, and it made us so much more money. But I had so much fun doing that, and I had so much fun not even acting, but being part of Tony and Tina's wedding. That those are the things that I can see why people get the bug and want to do that, because it's so much fun doing it.
Yeah.
How would someone, if they were, watching today and said, I want to try to break into that field of work, what kind of advice would you give them?
Don't.
That's exactly what I would give for my last profession.
Yeah, it just it is a really tough way to make a living.
Yeah.
And if you can wrap your head around the fact that there is nothing after the next thing,
right,
and you don't know where it's going to come from, something will come, but you don't know. If you can live like that while you watch all of your other friends get nice houses and nice cars. And,
well, the big thing now is TikTok. Doing doing the TikTok things and doing their little acting stuff, and some people make it big, and some people keep on trying to go viral, and that's the main thing.
Everyone's social media profile now says content creator. It's like,
and they have content
hosts. Post on Facebook and Instagram doesn't make you a content, but we're content creators.
So So Patrick, you guys got content houses out there, don't you? Houses that people buy or rent or whatever, big houses that they do the content in.
Oh,
isn't that a thing?
No,
I've seen that before.
Those get shut down by the FICE squad. So
I have zero social media because I look like a hag.
She doesn't do social media, and I
don't.
I do it now because of all this stuff. But when I was a police officer, I just had my Facebook page, and it was very, very minimal. I'd show.
You were just voyeuristic of looking
pictures of my dogs.
Yeah. But you would
now that
content,
I'm the same way. Now that I'm not a teacher anymore, I can start probably take that privacy thing off and let everybody see my stuff.
And that's what I did. Then I did Instagram.
Pole dancing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So there's mine.
Yeah.
And if I'm promoting a show, I'll put show stuff up there. These will go up soon.
Yeah.
But when I'm not doing a show, it's always a picture of one of my dogs.
Well,
so I gotta ask you before we go, Jim, because I'm a radio guy. I'm from Minneapolis, and to me, this podcast is one of the most Minnesotan accented podcasts you'll find on the internet.
You betcha.
No offense to Brett and Gene, and maybe a little
Stacy.
Like
I don't talk like.
What was that, eh?
Crap, you talk like that. I'm just saying. So
you betcha we do.
But
don't you know?
Jim's got a particular. He's almost got a Gruden ways talking. Like he's got a very John Gruden. How he talks.
Yeah,
you got a little bit of that going on.
It almost sounds like Liam Neeson. It's like.
Yeah. Did you work on a certain tone for yourself, or was it just something that you just do?
Smoked a lot of cigarettes in your
I don't smoke. I don't drink. And I never have.
What do you do?
And I never thought I had a good voice. It wasn't until my agent said, "I think you can make some money." That I went, "Really?"
Dude, you have the most unique voice. I mean, like I said, when you talk, it doesn't matter. If I'm at the Wild game, I'm at the Twins, you talk, I know it's you.
No, that's very kind.
Yeah, I know it's you.
Can you imitate people?
I don't do a lot of imitations.
Okay.
No.
Just asking.
Do you remember the Bruce from the Vikings? Bruce used to do the Vikings.
Yeah.
He does the arena announcing for Golden Knights.
I know.
In
Yeah.
Las Vegas. Yeah. Bruce Kulick, is that his name?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cunningham.
Yeah, great guy.
Yeah, he is. He's a terrific guy.
Remembered me. He reached out to me on Facebook because Big D Wayne, who I mentioned earlier, was doing the arena hosting, and he's like, "Oh, Patrick, that guy with the mohawk." So he friends me on Facebook. I'm like, "Who's this guy?" And it was like, he used to be the guy that would be like, "First and 10, Minnesota." It was like,
he's
It's
really
the one
good guy.
with the mohawk with the glitter on it.
But Vegas Golden Knights actually gave him he was part of the team. He's got a ring, like one of the actual Stanley Cup winning rings. And everyone loves him in Vegas. So it's funny, our circles probably have crossed.
Absolutely,
over the years,
it has. That's one of the great things about Minnesota. It's a very small place, but a good place.
But it's a great place. I mean, I've lived my whole life here. We've had plenty of opportunities to go elsewhere, but this is home.
Yeah.
You know, even though it's brutal winter and my bones are.
It really has not been bad
But
for
it has
years.
been bad.
Years we haven't had a brutal.
Well, yeah, but when being a cop, when I would work outside, I remember like
He'd come home and he
30
didn't have
below.
any nut sacks.
Yeah, it was like, I'm sorry.
All shriveled up.
Peeling frozen bodies up off the bench
think,
at the bus stop.
I can't remember what year it was.
well,
Gotta get old, man.
yeah, that
No, I'm serious. It could probably happen a couple times.
it did happen, and more than a couple times. So
I can't remember what year that was.
but-
We had 11 school days closed. As a
yeah,
teacher.
we had 40 days that were 0 or below. 40 days.
Yep.
That year, and I remember
Well, if you dress
I
like an
froze
idiot,
my
you're going to
ass
freeze your
off.
ass off.
Yeah, you don't have a lot of snow for it to be cold
You
as
just have to
weather.
But you know what? It's the
I
thing
hate it
is,
when it gets below 50 here. You know, I'm just saying.
yeah. But
you know,
the
it's a
least,
bummer.
at
Oh, but he sits there in 100 degrees weather with no underwear on.
that
way
is
to go.
true. He's like, I'm sitting here. It's 104, and I got no pants on.
In a hard metal chair.
Yeah,
That's what you do.
squeaking away.
There's
The only time it's 50 degrees at Pat is when he opens the freezer.
Well, the air conditioning is so expensive. You just get naked. You know, that's how you beat the bill.
There's,
Well, but
there's
that's
a story about
the-
The Godfather.
Yeah.
Where, honest to God, where Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, where it was hot, and
Yeah.
Sean Connery said, "I'm not wearing pants," and Harrison Ford said, "Well, then I'm not going to either." And they were just shooting him. It was when they were on the big. And
Yes.
they shot him from the waist up, and it was like, yeah, it's better this way.
Trebek, ask your mom where my pants were last night.
Right.
So do you have any projects coming up that you're like trying to attack that are out there that you was like I want to try to get that or
Yeah, there's
you're
one.
working on
There's
stuff?
one that I'm working on that I don't really talk about yet. But yeah, there's one project that I'm working on that I'm excited about, and if it should come to fruition, it'll be the last big thing I do.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm
Wow.
I'm
You get-
just getting to that point where
Okay.
I'm like, what time is it? It's what year? And I apply for Medicare this year. So how much longer do I?
Kids are out
So,
of
So if you
school,
retire-
travel.
If you retire,
I don't think I'll ever retire where I don't do it at all.
okay,
But I would
Yeah.
dial it back.
dial it back.
I've already dialed back by leaving. I left
sure.
the twins, and then the Wild left me because of COVID.
Okay.
yeah.
But
He'll be on Fiverr.
Have you
doing
thought about doing anything else like
30-second commercial
directing
reads.
I really have no desire to do that. I don't
or
know
even
that I have.
teaching?
I don't have any desire to do that either.
Okay.
And I don't know that I would be a particularly good director
Okay.
or a teacher, because essentially what I could do would be to say, don't do it like that, do it like this.
Okay.
This is how this works. Here's what you need to do it. And so I don't really have that desire or that bug
Okay.
to do either.
So if Jim Cunningham wasn't a actor, what would he be?
Dead. I really don't
Right.
know. I have absolutely no idea
Okay.
what I would do. My
You wouldn't be an
mother.
insurance salesman or anything like that?
No, I could never. I mean, I would. If it's not so much what I do, it's really who I am.
Okay.
So, and I don't have any sense of what I could or would have done had this not worked out.
Mhm.
Well,
And
you got a hobby or something?
No, I
Besides-
don't.
Really?
My dogs, but yeah, no, I don't have a hobby, and I mean, this since I was a kid, my mother would tell people, he was 4 years old in the neighborhood, telling people, you stand there and you're going to say this when I say that.
Oh,
And
he's
so-
acting ever since
Yeah,
you were
a
little.
little kid, and
Cool.
so this is all I've ever wanted to do, and I'm the luckiest guy you know. You should.
I would agree. I mean, you have done some fantastic things, and you are an icon.
And there's more to come.
Yeah, and there's more to come. And you are definitely an icon in Minnesota
That's very
when it comes
kind
to
of you.
acting. I mean,
It's only
true.
because I never left.
and it's well, and that's
Really,
a
I
good,
mean it.
and that's a
It's,
great thing, because I mean, it's fantastic. You have been part of the industry, and like most people that are actors out there, you say the name Jim Cunningham, and they're like, yeah, I know who that is.
Have you ever thought about
So-
California? Did you ever think about that in your life?
I had a buddy in college, Jay Nickerson, who may be the best actor I've ever had the good fortune to work with on stage, although Michael Egan's name would come up. There are a lot of good people I've been on stage with, but Jay was really good. And we thought about, for a while, going to California and seeing what could happen. and then
Or New York City to do the theater stuff.
yeah, I had two good pieces of career advice that I go back to on a regular basis. The first piece of acting advice I got, I had done the stocks at the Renaissance Festival, and then I put together my own little company, and we were doing shows on the bakery stage.
Oh yeah.
And we did that for about 4 years, and then I said, okay, I've done that. I'm done now. I don't have to do this anymore. I've got it out of my system, because I did love it, but I'd been there 10 years, and I was like, that's enough. And I got a call in the off season from the entertainment director, the artistic director, guy named Gary Parker.
Yeah.
And Gary said, Willie Lauder, who hosts the Feast of Fantasy, is going to retire. I'm going to hire him to do something else, but I thought you would make a really good host of the Feast of Fantasy. And I said, oh, Gary, that's very kind of you to think of me. I'm not really a host or an MC. I'm more of an actor. And there was this long pause. And then Gary said, no, I don't think you are. And it was really good advice. A lot of what I do is hosting now.
Yeah.
And so that was really good advice. And then I asked another actor who I admire quite a bit about going to one of the coasts and seeing what could happen. And he said, if it's important to get famous, that's the only way to do it. If you want to get famous, you're going to have to go.
Yep.
You can't get famous from here. You're going to have to leave. If you want to do good work with talented people and make a good, comfortable living, and support your family in a state that supports theater and is a great place to live and raise kids, you can do that here if you want.
Okay.
And so I was like,
That's good.
I guess that's what I want to do.
So if I need a day off of the podcast for whatever reason, you can come and be a host here.
Wow. There you go.
We'll stock plenty of the soda water
please.
for you.
Try to get the cherry. I'm very in
cherry's
love
good.
with this right now.
It's good stuff.
You had me at Starburst. It's really great. Very tasty.
That's funny.
Well, I'm elated to have you on. When we set up the podcast, you were the first person I thought of. I'm like,
that's very kind of
we are going to
Trust
put in
me.
a few episodes, but I'm going to get Jim Cunningham on the show.
Get it dialed in a little
I'm
bit.
going to do it.
Well, God bless you.
And I didn't know how to get a hold of you, but I finally found you. I tracked you down and sent you that message. But
If it wasn't for those gosh darn bees,
Yes,
I would have
exactly.
been on already.
I
I know. Didn't you text
Yeah,
Rhett
stay
from like
away
the
from that
hospital?
shit.
Yeah,
I was
really?
on the way to the hospital.
He's on his way to the hospital.
Like,
But you know
I
what?
can't make it tonight.
That was probably a good thing, because we ran into some technical difficulties
Oh God.
that went through. That Brett had to do some changes, and
Yeah.
you know, the Discord thing wasn't being very kind to us, and
It was called anger management.
Patrick was
There's a
yelling.
lot of Effenheimers going on until I got it figured out.
I
But
understand.
I know.
I'm happy to have been here, and I appreciate your kind words and you thinking of me and you guys having me on the show. Nice to meet all of you.
Yeah.
And you said you had a podcast too. You do a podcast actively?
I do, yeah. We
What is it?
every 2 weeks we record. It's called Behind the Page, the Eli Marks podcast. And so Eli Marks is the name of the main character in all of these mystery novels that he
Oh,
wrote.
you're gonna have to put that.
And would you like us to
Yeah.
take a screenshot, put
That'd
it
be
out there in the
great.
podcast?
Promotion.
Yeah,
That's the way
absolutely.
podcast grows.
There's,
Well, that's
it's,
what I'm
There's
doing.
some audience.
this is we're just wrapping up our 5th season,
Right on.
going into our 6th season. And I suppose if he stops writing books, we'll stop doing podcasts, but we still have.
And you're reading them for Audible, correct?
I am. So you
awesome.
can get them on Audible, and that's been really fun. I did that series, and then there's a couple other series
okay.
that I've done. So
Well, you definitely have a voice for the Audible stuff
thank
too.
you. Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
been really
All right.
great.
Now, folks,
Christmas is coming.
Yes.
Christmas is coming, so the Charles Dickens Feast and It's a Wonderful Life. We'll have this information at the end of the podcast, along with Jim's podcast, his information there. Thank you for coming on. It's
you.
been a pleasure.
Thank you, Brett.
It's been fantastic. Folks, as usual, we can't do this without you. Please share, subscribe, and like, and we'll see you next week.
Patrick.